What's up, everybody? This is Luke Patrick with the AndroidAppsReview.com. Today we're slinging out yet another video review, this time taking a look at an application called MusicTrans that I have pulled up right here ready to go. I've also loaded it with the song Penguins by Lyle Lovett. If you haven't heard it, it's a good song. And it's also very well mastered, which is one of the reasons that I have selected it, because it makes things very nice and clean and crisp. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and kind of dive into all of the features that MusicTrans has to offer. It is worth noting that this application is available for $10 in the iTunes, or excuse me, the Google Play Store, and it offers a very specific function. So you do have to spend $10, and for an app that is pretty expensive. I mean, otherwise it's the equivalent of 2 cups of coffee at Starbucks. But for an app, it is expensive, so we're going to acknowledge that. But if you're in need of this kind of functionality, there's nowhere else really that you're going to be able to get it, at least not in this quality next to its competition. It really is kind of leading the pack. And if you haven't figured it out from the clever title, MusicTrans helps you in transcribing music. It's kind of like having a little choir boy that just kind of sits there and tells you notes, helps you slow things down, and it just generally helps you get them notes down, kind of Steve Vai to Frank Zappa style. That means something to some of you, I'm sure. All right, so we're going to go ahead and jump back and then kind of jump into this, and then we'll show you how all this works. So essentially, you load the app up with a song. You can do different songs. So I've got Penguins, but you can do any of the other songs that are on your phone, or you can pull them from Dropbox or local sources, so however you want to get them in here. Once they're in here, the application first takes it and puts out the waveform patterns, and then it also, if you can see in the exact instant where you are, it will actually, excuse me, mispronouncing things, show you the notes that are being played at that exact point in time. So at this point where my head is, I've got an F, or rather a sharp, and then a G, and then an A. So all that stuff's happening. And it will do this throughout the entire head play. So for instance, if I start hitting play, it will jump back to the beginning, and you can kind of see that the waveform is trying to interpret what it sees as waves and turns them into music. And it works pretty well. I mean, that's a drum beat, obviously, so it's not gathering too much there. I guess there's probably some bass notes in there that I can't quite hear. But for the most part, it is a very helpful utility, made more helpful by the fact that you can pause it and then slow it down even if you want. If you want to take Mr. Lyle Lovett down about 25%, you can hit the button, and he sounds like a demon, but you can see the notes. So if you're trying to figure out general chord patterns, or if you're trying to figure out sort of where the key is, it's real pretty, Lyle. Let's speed him back up. Stop torturing Mr. Lovett. There we go. But you can kind of get a good idea for what notes are going on. And of course, if you're sitting at a keyboard and you want to actually tap these out and kind of get a better feel, you can do that too. Very easy peasy. This just makes it easier. And that's kind of the whole point of MusicTrans, is that it makes things easier. So as that's going on, obviously you can control the tempo if you want. You can also do this nifty feature, which is the voice removal. So listen when I do this. It's kind of a bad spot for that because Lyle's not saying much. But then again, it's kind of the point. So if you can hear it, it takes out the range that would be appropriate for the human voice, kind of trying to leave just behind the musical track. There's different presets for this. You can do male voice, female voice. Male voice doesn't tend to work too well on Lyle. Female voice works a little better. Full kind of just goes whole ham and decides to take out the whole thing. Or if you want, you can do custom and then start with the full and then adjust the frequencies as you desire. We're going to get rid of that. So that's very handy, especially if you're just trying to focus on the music and you want to figure out what a specific bass loop is doing, or something along those lines. Very easy to maneuver through, and very handy. So from here, we're going to move to some different aspects of the application. So let's go ahead and back out. I'm going to turn the volume down just a little bit so you can hear me. Get rid of the awesome horn hits. And then, let's see, we can also tap this. It brings up the pan versus mono. If you want to flip it one way or the other, you can do that pretty easily. Likewise, if you want to mess with the mix, just tap this. Here's your equalizer. It comes with a couple different presets. Isolate middle, isolate bass, guitar, bass, sub bass, male vocal, female vocal, etc. So if you want to really dial it in on a specific part of the mix, you can do that. Very simple, very easy. One of the more useful functions of this application is that if you hit this button right here, it will start tracking, so it leaves behind a track right there, and then it moves the head forward, and then when we're ready, we can, whoops, sorry, hit the wrong button. So there's our beginning, And then let's say we wanted to try to figure out exactly what happened just then. We hit that, and then we have this nice section that will loop. You can kill it at any point in time. You can also tell it to stop looping, and then you can just pop backwards if you want. Very simple. You can adjust this. Quick, easy tools. You can drag if you want to. Very easy to drag these around. It's extremely intuitive. Very helpful. And then if you want to really dial it in, just pop this dude in here, adjust your track, and then you can get it down to the second or a millisecond if you want to really see what's going on. Very simple stuff. It's trying to move along with the head, so it's causing me some problems. So I'm going to stop. But all in all, it's kind of what MusicTrans is offering. Again, it is $10 in the Android Play Store, which is a lot to ask for any application. But then again, this is not Angry Birds that you're paying for. Yeah, we would expect it to cost $1. This is something that a lot of people get a lot of use out of. And if you need this kind of thing, obviously this will seem more useful to you than those who don't need it. Therefore, the price tag will probably feel a little better to you as well. We definitely think it's worth it. It's easily the best music transcribing utility on the Android platform. It comes with all the features we'd expect, and it's also incredibly simple to maneuver. We can easily see this being a piano stand mate to help you get through some of those tricky parts. Just grab a pen and some sheets, and this is pretty much all you need. So again, $10, but easily worth it. So we're going to give the application 4 out of 5 stars from us here at the Android Apps Review. It's a very good application. We like it a lot. All right, that's all I have to say. So I'm going to go ahead and sign out, but we will see you guys later. All right, bye.